We're beginning Samadhi game this morning with a breath, a meditation on the breath, using the saga breath to breathe in down the front side of the body, breathing out as a shiver up the spine to the crown, keeping the tongue placed at the top of the mouth, and as you breathe out, a slight kegel, changing the direction of the breath to an exhalation. We're setting a foundation with the breath. Today's broadcast is foundational, not fundamental. In this 8-day retreat of Samadhi, join us as we breathe, continuing this breath. Feeling the breath as it moves down the front side of the body with each inhalation, softening, feeling the places of tension and releasing them. And as it reaches the perineum, tightening the perineum slightly with a kegel and allowing that breath to then run up the spine to the top of the head as a shiver up the spine. And if you don't feel that shiver, just pretend it's so. Keeping the tongue at the top, the roof of the mouth, closing the circuit, this open circuit, which is the mouth on the front side of the body, allowing that energy to run down through the tongue, down to the root chakra.
Shanta
Thank you for joining us. We're going to continue this breath for another minute. Thanks so much for joining us on Samadhi Game. And thank you both, Barbara and Robbie, for coming this morning. I really appreciate your being here. I thought maybe we'd start off by bringing the Samadhi Game tribe together and finding out a little bit about each of us here present. And I wanted to ask, let's start with Robbie. You know, this morning we had breakfast here. When we do these morning meditations, I always invite the people that come to have breakfast with me. We make eggs and bacon. We're here at Sunny Mellow. It's the ranch in Tijeras. So it's sort of a ranch breakfast. It's a big breakfast. We eat as much as we possibly can so we can get grounded for this. And then the breath really helps with digestion, I think. So it helps to really calm us down and get us into the essence of Samadhi Game. But I wanted to ask, how is it that you came to Samadhi Game? Can you tell us a little bit about that? I asked that at breakfast, and you told me something really interesting. I thought it was lovely, and maybe you can just, briefly say that again.
Okay, I'm a soccer mom, so I'm always with my iPad, and I'm on Facebook. People were downloading Samadhi Game. I go, oh, cool. A mantra game, let's do it. So I downloaded it, and I couldn't figure out how to play it. So I watched the broadcast, and I got it.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes actually looking at it. Some people do say the name's a little deceiving. I don't see it as a game, but it is the game of life.
Yes, game of life, and you want to win the life.
And the winning is getting to the Samadhi.
Yes.
Is actually feeling the Samadhi in our bodies, feeling the Samadhi in our lives, bringing the Samadhi as much as we can. Samadhi Game is about a tantra. What were you going to say something?
Samadhi means?
Sama means this oneness. And D is the concentration. So Samadhi is the concentration on oneness. And oneness can be translated as love, bliss, peace. Whenever you're in those states, you're in a state of oneness. So we're trying to find a way to get to that oneness and find a way out of the conundrum that we're in of the dual human ego. We all know, if we've lived a day on this planet, that it's not an easy place. There are trials and tribulations that come to us daily, all the time. And we need to find a way to bring us back to the heart, the center of being. So that's how Samadhi Game, the name Samadhi Game. And, it's funny because the way that I found the name of Samadhi Game is perfect in alignment with how you found Samadhi Game. Because I actually decided to found it as a game, name it Samadhi Game. I was actually surfing the web one morning and noticed that games, and I was in iTunes. I went to iTunes, and I noticed that the games are the first thing on the list. Everyone wants to look at the games in iTunes, and they were selling more than anything. And I thought, well, this has got to be a game. We've got to call it a game so that people are at least interested enough to look at it, which is exactly what happened with you.
I fell for it.
You fell? You did?
And then once I got it, I go, wait, there's no pieces. There's nothing to punch. So you have to, okay, I'm reading it.
It's internal.
What about you, Barbara? How did you come to Samadhi Game?
Well, I was getting one of your healing massages at Whole Foods, and then
Hey, thanks.
afterwards I said, whatever you're on, I'd like to have some. And then you
It's
invited
very
me
cool. Yeah.
to one of your meditations, and I got high on it too.
We have local meditations here, and sometimes we can have anywhere from 10 to 20 people joining us, depending on if they're in or out of town and how many television shows they want to miss. But no, we can get a good group here. And I remember when Barbara started coming to those meditations, I really appreciated Barbara's attendance, because she brought her pad and her notepad and her pen, and she would take notes, as we went along. And she was the first person ever to take notes to my sessions, and I really was flattered that I had something to say that could be written down. I really was. And so I just totally appreciated Barbara. I loved her dearly for that. And God, it's been how many years? You've been coming for 2 years, I think, or
maybe 3.
3 years, maybe even. And so we've developed over the last year. I have to apologize, because over the last year, my mother and father have been rather ill, and I have not been doing the local meditations, simply because I've been out of town for quite a long time. Almost half of my time has been lived in New York. And Jack, if you're out there watching, I miss you. He wrote me a beautiful. I've been staying with my sister in New York as we saw our parents to their togetherness in the higher realms, and I got a lot of time to bond with Jack. And Jack sent me a beautiful picture yesterday of us getting ready to go surfing. And I just wanted to send a hello to Jack. I think he's out there watching today. And anyway, so today's broadcast, I wanted to really emphasize the fundamentals of Samadhi game and what it means. It's not fundamentalist, but it's foundational, I should say. Not fundamental, but the fundamentals are foundational. And I think what happens is people get locked into the foundations, and then they start to say, that's it. But with Samadhi game, I like from the very beginning to say that this is an open-ended game of enlightenment. It has to constantly evolve with each individual. We can come together here online and say the words of Samadhi game, which I've written over almost my entire life. And we can accept and we can agree to say these names together, these words together, so that we can have a common resonance wherever we are on the planet. And that's pretty cool. Most meditations are a silent meditation, and you've got to hope that you're resonating with the person if you're meditating in silence. Because that person may be in a thought pattern or a thought matrix or a thought mandala, which is quite different than the thought mandala that you're in while you're in silence. But in Samadhi game, we're saying the thought mandalas as a worded matrix. This is what is called a mantra. And these mantras create a structure in consciousness which allows us all to come together and create this resonance across the planet. And although we agree on these words together here, once you download Samadhi game from the links which are free at samadhigame.com and put it on your computer, you can copy it to your own word processor and begin to change it as you see fit. I once had someone came to one of my meditations, and they had quite a beef with one of the mantras towards the end of the book. I can't remember which one it exactly was. And I at first, when I was trying to answer them, I thought, oh, maybe I should really change that. And oh my God, I've got to really look at this. Maybe I'm wrong to have this wording in here like this. And then after a few seconds of thinking that, I thought, wait a second. No, that's really how I feel Samadhi would be best served for me. And I think it's the most universal way of stating it. So I'm going to stay with it. And I looked up at her and I says, you know what? When you go home tonight, you take that and you put it into your word processor and change it. It's the essential thing for you to do tonight. So that's what Samadhi game's about. It's about making it your own, putting it into a pattern that's not fundamental, that we don't get stuck in one matrix, but we can change that matrix. And
modify it to meet your needs.
Modify it to meet your own individual needs. And I'm changing it quite frankly, almost daily. Not recently because of my time in New York. But up until about 6 months ago, I was changing it quite frequently. And once I get back into a pattern here, living in a regular cadence, I will again begin to change the wording as I see fit day to day, because my consciousness is changing day to day. And I sense a different flow of energies and needs. And I'll change it and then post it, and then it can be downloaded again if you'd like to stay with me. Keep on, because I'm going to take us, at least I'm going to share where I'm going with everyone through the Samadhi game. And when I find a new doorway to enlightenment, I'll put it into the Samadhi game, and we can work with it from there. So that's the foundation of the fundamentals of Samadhi game. Another foundation is the just the stating of the words, just singing the words. It's like a song. And when we sing the words, we're saying it to ourselves. There was a guru, a great yogi from India. His name was Milarepa. Some of you may have heard of him. I also have spoken of him often. Milarepa is a great yogi from Tibet. And when he went away to the mountains and created his own mantras to sing, and which is what we're doing here. It's a little known part of the path. Very few people follow it, but we're doing it. He's one of the great gurus of Samadhi game. And when he would sing his mantras, he would hold his hand to his ear. Just try it. When you
can hear
yourself more.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear it kind of comes around, and you can hear yourself. And so when you hear the word, it feeds back. It's like a biofeedback mechanism. You hear the word, and you start to believe the word that you say. And so the saying of these words keeps us pinned to the truth of what Samadhi game, what the enlightenment is, what our true identity is. And last night and today, we've been dealing with this first chapter of the Samadhi game book, which is the divine identity. And I thought today we'd go ahead and rip through some of the mantras at the beginning of the book again. Are you with me on that?
We're in. Let's go.
I have a question. I was just wondering how the singing of the mantras or of the book would be related to kirtan or chanting.
It's a little bit kirtan or chanting. Kirtan or chanting is very much like Samadhi game, but kirtan, and even the word kirtan comes from India. It's an Indian word for the process of singing. And most of the bhajans and mantras in India are based on a really old system of religion, which is more of a declaration of imploring the divine to come to us than affirming that we are the divine.
Okay.
So what Samadhi game does is it takes a step upon that, and it goes a little bit beyond, and it says, instead of just calling to God and saying, come, I love you, Krishna, I love you, Jesus, I love you, Buddha, come and be in my heart and guide me, take me with you, be my every step of the way. That's basically what almost all Christian and Hindu and Buddhist prayer is like. We are saying, we're taking it to the next step and saying, I am that. We're standing with Moses as he stood with the burning bush. We're actually saying that I have the same capacity to stand as Moses, as Jesus, as Buddha, as Krishna, as all the great ones that have founded all the great religions, East and West. We stand with them. We don't hesitate in saying that. If we hesitate in saying that, bam, already we're out of the matrix of the truth of who we really are. It just takes one little percentage. They say the devil is in the last 0.5%. So you can actually have a true teaching of the path of enlightenment, 99.5% correct. If it has 5% error,
it's not right.
It's not right. It's still going to be. You're still going to be affirming that 5% will keep you back from the enlightenment. It will somehow cause a turn in your consciousness, a doubt that will, or a misconception, or a seeming somehow that is not based on the authentic truth of your being. So what we're doing is we're going to the very core and saying that this is the truth, this is the way and the life 100%. And in order to say that, we have to say that we are the divine. We can't hesitate in that. And we can't separate ourselves from Jesus or Gautama or any of the great ones. And that's the big error with most of the people, most of the religions now, Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, the Vedas. They want to put another being on a pedestal up higher and relegate us to a footstool kingdom. And they do that in degrees. Some of them are really footstool kingdomish, and other ones aren't. But if there's even a percentage, a fraction of a percentage of footstool kingdom mundane consciousness that you are in there, then it's fallacy. And it won't take you to the complete victory of your life. It will definitely, all religions will take people to a step. There'll be a step where they'll realize they have to do something more. Even Samadhi game, I'm sure that there are ways out there that are way more enlightened than Samadhi game. And at some point, that's why I want Samadhi game to be flexible from the very beginning and have a way of growing and changing and transmuting itself so that it can stay on course. And when we find that percentage that is an error, we can change it. And yet we can still reach back and hold hands of people who are, wondering what the truth is, and lift them with us as we go. So it becomes a chain. And that's, again, the tribe. We stay together as a tribe, and we say the words together as a tribe, even as we do our own individual paths. Anyway, it's really an incredible science. And thanks for asking the question. And the affirmation of Samadhi game is just like a powerhouse when it comes to, compared to a kirtan. And kirtan is lovely too. And what we can do when we sing the Samadhi game mantras is we can actually sing them with rhythm, with tone, with inflection, so that it becomes more and more powerful. So let's go ahead. Let's take us to Samadhi game. I'm going to take us first of all to a broad view. I'm sorry I didn't do this earlier for you out there in viewing, but here we are in a broad view. And then here we go to Samadhi game. And let me go and actually find something here. Okay, I'm going to take us. We're going to start at the beginning of a Samadhi game in Chapter 1. Chapter 2 is about the shadow, and we're going to get there later in the week. I want to really go into the shadow, and we're going to really see how we can deal and work with the shadow in a very constructive way. But I'd like to take us to the beginning of the book. I'm taking a time getting there. Okay, here we are. In the first mantra, if you're following along on your own books, it's on page 11. And I'll take us here if you would like to follow along in the online. So the shadowless light of Samadhi, it's feeling, tone, and state of knowing. So you see we're off camera now. Okay, so you can't see us, but you can see the text. And let's go ahead and say this together as a tribe. Come on. O glorious shadowless light of eternity, that brilliance of I am Samadhi, shining in the void as 10,000 suns, descend, descend, descend as the tangible substance of loving splendor, dazzling intelligence and palpable power for all to absorb and identify with, as the full and only authority throughout the earth, the boundless treasure house of the universe, and our infinite I am Samadhi of scintillating fire and dazzling light, that I am. I release the power of mastery without limit now, revealing the self and flooding forth perfect miracles and all activities, bringing to pass the enlightenment of the ages, and letting every being on earth sense and surrender to the intimacy of this light. Everywhere, the fullness of this self expanding as love, wisdom, and joy forever. Now, great songs of praise and gratitude burst forth from the heart of humanity for that silent splendor poured out to all. Now, pure love flows forth from the heart of the secret love star, drenching the earth with the glory and ecstasy of golden pink liquid light. Now, the oneness of supreme love, wisdom, and blazing joy overwhelms this whirl of duality in its glowing orb of transmutation, reconciliation, and dominion, making of terror a smiling sun of everlasting, all-powerful, limitless light, casting no shadow, and in which only that absolute perfection can forever dwell. Now, I am limitless gifts of all good things, anointing the earth with abundance, healing, and happiness for all mankind. O presence of the shadowless light from out the great silence, we identify with thee now. I am the elation and exhilaration, freedom and liberation of this eternal experience and gnosis of Samadhi, its ecstatic hearing, blissful feeling, cosmic scent, sublime taste, and immaculate vision, holding all safely within that compassionate diamond heart forever. And now here, Ilse, I intensify this feeling tone of I am shadowless light in acknowledgement, acceptance, and awareness, surrender, devotion, and adoration for this state of knowing that this all-pervading I am Samadhi, the intelligence of the heart that is divine illumination. Now here we have a blank in Samadhi where we have to say our divine names. And I also want to go back to how we just, in the text it says that, and it has quotes around it. That I am, that same burning bush that Moses saw, I am that. We have to really feel that. And we're standing right there in this bush. We're affirming that for us. And we have to affirm that we have the nobility to do that. And there is a name for us, the name that takes us to the next step. We're Gregory Donald Brinkley and Roberta and Nicole Frank and Barbara Forshey. Those are our names, and most people know us by those names. And they attach sort of a mundane, worldly idea of who that means. And so the idea of saying a name that's a little bit bigger, it could be a completely different name. It could be the same name. You could even just say your name and infuse it with energy in a way that you never have before. Or you could say a name that is filled with hope and filled with imagery. When I say my name, I say, the Ascended Master Gregory Donald Brinkley, Living Super Yogi Brilliance. I get really wild and shout it out. And the idea is to have a name, and it can change day to day. And it can be different. It can go on and get bigger and move forward. But the idea is to actually create that name for yourself and then say it. So do you have a name you want to say? Okay, you got one. Okay. So let's go ahead. And we're all going to say our names today. We're not going to say stay silent. Shout it out. So let's go ahead and say I, and say it again. I'm going to take us off camera. So we can do this off camera. And there's the words. And there is the blank. So let me take that here. Let's get ready to move forward. And then we're going to say the name of an ascended being, a great guru as well. I have written there the Ascended Master Jesus, but if you prefer out there in internet land to say the name Gautama or John Doe down the street, say that name too. If that name inspires you to the largeness of who you are. So let's go ahead and say it now. I, Gregory Donald Brinkley, Living Super Yogi Brilliance, am awake, as is the Ascended Master Jesus, to this shadowless light, its feeling tone and state of knowing, that I am that never sleeps and enjoys all, now and forever. So let's go straight into, let's go ahead and do this. This is an ancient mantra that I wanted to show comes from, let's go just to here. This ancient mantra, Om Namah Shivaya Guruve, is very ancient. And if we translate it, you see that it is the same affirmative mantra that we have today in Samadhi game. Let's go ahead and look at it and see how it reads. And let's go ahead and sing it. Om Namah Shivaya Guruve, Satchidananda Murtaye, Nishprapanshaya Shantaya, Nirarambaya Tejase. I bow to the Samadhi within myself, known as Lord Shiva, that is the true teacher. This Samadhi that I am takes the form of truth, consciousness, and bliss. I am always present and full of peace. I am always present and full of peace. I am always present and full of peace. I am completely free and I sparkle with the divine luster. And then you can just say, Let's just go ahead and sit with that just for a few moments. Feeling our connectedness with Spirit. And feeling our connectedness together, both here in this room and across the world in the Antakarana of light, established in resonance with our words said. Vibrated in unison around the planet. How cool is that? Can you just imagine at some point, I've dreamed that there would be hundreds, thousands, maybe even millions of people saying these mantras together at the same time. And the cadence that would establish upon the planet. It's nice when you rock a baby, how nice and comforting it is to the baby to have that rocking take place, to be held in the arms. And it is a foundation that we can rest into, and as a tribe of people across the planet, and have that comfort of being together, of comfort of knowing that we're not alone on the path, that we're saying these mantras together, that we're moving forward in our enlightenment together, that we're taking the chance to be the artist, the healer, the gift given gone that is unique to us. Because isn't it true when you step out there and you take that chance of giving your gift that you could fail?
Mm-hmm.
It is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a fear in that. And so when we come together and give these mantras, it supports us all. It's like coming home. How good it is to come home at the end of the day and go, I'm home.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. It's all going to be good. It's going to be, and to be within the sanctity of your own walls and, have all of the things around you that are sacred.
When you were speaking, I kind of got this image of rocking the planet.
Yeah.
But that could go both ways. I mean, like rocking the planet to peace.
Keeping it safe.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping it safe, yeah. Well, we do. We rock the planet with our words. I mean, we actually do. And even though we're a small number of people now, it's going to grow. We're going to have more people. And eventually there will be hundreds and thousands and millions doing Samadhi game mantras. I know this. Because the mantras are I shouldn't say flawless. But they have such the intention is like the heart of gold. And how can you deny the intention of the heart of gold? And if we can come together and say, yeah, the intention is the heart of gold, let's stay with it. Then you can accept it. It's just it's magic. So let's go on. Let's go do more mantras. Let's do more mantras. I'm so grateful for you both being here. I feel that rocking, that stability, that coming home just with your being with me today.
Oh.
How many times have I given this alone?
Yeah. Well, we're here now.
Yeah,
Come
great.
on, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, so let's go get another mantra. Let's get opening pillar of light, pillar of the world. Come on. Sublime I am, Samadhi that I am, enfolding me now in that mighty, magic, electronic pillar of cosmic light substance. My identification with its magnificent humility and thoughtful creativity, so powerful and complete, that I artfully and magically alter every polarity with healing unity. Within this majestic pillar of light blazes that love as the violet, compassionate flame, in, through, and around my etheric, mental, emotional, and physical bodies, effortlessly dissolving, consuming, transmuting, and reconciling the dualities of my human ego, charging my world and all I contact
with the tangible substance,
living awareness and conscious activity, the presence and superconscious samadhi of all enlightened beings, liberated and ascended masters, seeing, feeling, and hearing this light as it shines, radiates, and resonates within me as a visible pillar of the world, stabilized, supported, and sustained by the brilliant, elegant One, and infinitely sensitive to that invulnerable state of divine I am Samadhi. Let's go ahead and give it again before we give the Om. Let's really etch the idea of what we're doing in our mind. We're establishing around us this pillar of light. We're allowing the pranas that are naturally within us to actually effulge a little bit stronger, to fill in the space around us that the Chinese call the Wei Qi. So it's an actual thing. This is recognized. It's not like something we're drawing out of thin air. This is cultural. It's been there for a long time. It's been there since we were created,
Thousands, yeah.
But we're drawing it out and saying, this is how it is. We're gonna be aware of it today, that there is this envelope of light around us. We stand as pillars in the Sushumna, in the core of our being, in the neutral witness. So let's go ahead and go on and say it. Come on. Sublime I am Samadhi that I am, enfolding me now in that mighty, magic, electronic pillar of cosmic light substance. My identification with its magnificent humility and thoughtful creativity, so powerful and complete, that I artfully and magically alter every polarity with healing unity. Within this majestic pillar of light blazes that love as the violet compassionate flame, in, through, and around my etheric, mental, emotional, and physical bodies, effortlessly dissolving, consuming, transmuting, and reconciling the dualities of my human ego, charging my world and all I contact with the tangible substance, living awareness, and conscious activity, the presence and superconscious samadhi of all enlightened beings, liberated and ascended masters, seeing, feeling, and hearing this light as it shines, radiates, and resonates within me as a visible pillar of the world, stabilized, supported, and sustained by the brilliant, elegant One, and infinitely sensitive to that invulnerable state of divine I am Samadhi. And one more time, all the way through. Sublime I am Samadhi that I am, enfolding me now in that mighty, magic, electronic pillar of cosmic light substance. My identification with its magnificent humility and thoughtful creativity, so powerful and complete, that I artfully and magically alter every polarity with healing unity. Within this majestic pillar of light blazes that love as the violet compassionate flame, in, through, and around my etheric, mental, emotional, and physical bodies, effortlessly dissolving, consuming, transmuting, and reconciling the dualities of my human ego, charging my world and all I contact with the tangible substance, living awareness, and conscious activity, the presence and superconscious samadhi of all enlightened beings, liberated and ascended masters, seeing, feeling, and hearing this light as it shines, radiates, and resonates within as a visible pillar of the world, stabilized, supported, and sustained by the brilliant, elegant One, and infinitely sensitive to that invulnerable state of divine I am Samadhi. Finish this mantra. Eternity is my home. I do all that is necessary to actualize this ever-fresh realization and organize my life around it. That is so cool. I love when we come together and we give that harmonies and you can hear the resonances going on. The same thing is happening on a worldwide basis.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed it, you all noticed, I'm sure, I sped up that last mantra.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got it because as you get more clear with what these mantras, what they're saying, you can say them faster. You can give them with more
Energy.
a more aggressive tone and speed. And it cuts deeper and deeper into the conscious, the unconscious and the superconscious worlds. So, very cool. Let's go on. Okay. Let's give this mantra here. Go down to, sorry, got off the track here. Heartfelt, tangible samadhi. One of the keys to the first step we take on the path has to be love. It has to be. You can't take one step on the path without loving. And so, if one of the ways that sometimes people will sit silently and wonder, what do I do? Where do I go? How do I do this? And I say, well, just think of something or someone that you love. Maybe it's a child that you just or a sunset, or a person, something that's something that really draws you and makes your heart swell with love, or even a movie. And then just come back to that feeling and remember it and allow that to focus on it. And then take that, and as though you had a rheostat, these little circles on the wall, that you can turn the circle, the charge, and the light gets brighter and brighter. Mm-hmm. So if you focus on the love, you can up the wattage of that love, so that it's like really powerful. It's like a brilliant light. Jesus put it, if you have faith as a mustard seed. Mm-hmm. So if you can just feel just a little teeny bit of that love, and then just allow that love to grow from that mustard seed potential into this great, grand, universal love that expands beyond where we sit here and encapsulates and holds everyone around us and through us and Beautiful. Out into the world. So let's go ahead and give this mantra and let that heartfelt, tangible samadhi really grow. Come on. O Great Spirit, Almighty I Am Samadhi at the center of all creation, radiant with illuminating fire, O heartfelt parent of all sons and sons, pour forth that life-giving power and fan the spark of that divinity on the altar of my heart. Amplify and magnify this spark by the fire breath of the whole I Spirit into the potent God flame that I am. Oh, the shimmering fountain of life that I hear, feel, smell, taste, and see within me. I choose this constant cascade of liquid light, actively receiving its shimmering directive radiance, tangibly and powerfully manifest in my experience. I open the innermost temple of love within this evident, ebullient, celestial, cosmic fire. I manifest that life and light for our healing and regeneration, letting the breath, height, fullness, and crown of the solar radiance of the sun behind the sun appear. I stand forth. Revealed in and through me is the neutral witness that Christos, Krishna, Buddha, Allah, Pharaoh, Monarch, Divine Mother, Father, Son, conscious awareness. I am the visible, audible, and tangible flame of eternal life, breathing the scintillating prana chi from the source to the root of my being, liquid rays of light flooding my chakras, seated upon their lotus thrones of love, molten gold of enlightenment, shivering its ascension up my spine, crowning my awareness with the diamond rays of attainment. I want to just, last night, part of the broadcast, we didn't have this part turned on for the broadcast to record, so I wanted to record this. That paragraph is the saga breath that we gave to begin today's meditation with. As we breathe down the front side of the body, letting that breathing, the scintillating prana chi from the source, this crystal cord source, out through eternity, down through the center of all of our chakras. We are that eternity all the way through. It's like the elevator that holds all of the chakras together. This crystal cord that pours all the way through the crown, all the way to the root. So as we follow that pathway down the front side of the body, we spark every chakra, and then liquid rays of light as that comes flowing down, flooding my chakras, each chakra being given a modicum of new light for the day. When we tune into it, we are actually tuning into the light that's given for the day. How do they say it? There's a quote in the Bible, enough light for the evil of the day, or something of that. There's enough light given for each day's tasks. Mm-hmm. That's true. Each day you're given the ability to overcome everything because it's given. We just have to tune into it and accept, yes, it was given. And now the challenges of the day come, and we have enough light to handle it. And so when we wake up in the morning and we do these mantras on a regular basis, we get that light stored away like a bank account. And it goes through it. It floods every chakra with this breath. Molten gold of enlightenment, shivering its ascension up our spines, crowning us with the awareness of diamond rays of attainment. So
it fills our pillar of light.
Fills our pillar of light. So this is the breath, the saga breath. And when we get tired of saying the words, we can just stop and breathe. But we're setting a pattern not only with the words, but we're setting a pattern with the breath down the front side of the body, up the back side of the body. It's still a pattern, even though no words are said. It's a pattern that we're setting. Everything is pattern. Breathing is pattern. What kind of matrix you hold in silence is a pattern. With Samadhi game, we're taking the pattern and making it really clear as a worded mandala, a worded matrix. Let's go on. Come over here. As the white fire beam of my heart, I dynamically emanate and transmit this audible, tangible, fragrant, delectable, and visible substance of living Samadhi as creativity and direction. I am a sun in the palace of the shining void, this temple a glistening world of infinite space, the process of my transformations, sounding the melodies, harmonies, and rhythms of the great solar symphony. I am the dazzling flame of life, here and now, because I am nowhere else but everywhere, forever. I am Samadhi's palpable joy, tactile glory, and felt perfection of boundless being. I am that, I am that, I am that. And here's that name again. I am the Ascended Master Gregory Donald Binkley Living Super Yogi Brilliance. And again, I am the Ascended Master Gregory Donald Binkley Living Super Yogi Brilliance. I am the Ascended Master Gregory Donald Binkley Living Super Yogi Brilliance. An embodiment, an embodiment, an embodiment. I am oneness lived. So we live that oneness. We actually call it down into our beings. It's just, I'm sharing it because I love it. I'm sharing this because I have a passion for it. I'm sharing it because I know that you can find a passion for it too. And I'm sharing it because it has served me well through the trials and tribulations of my life. Let me just give this example. When you're topsy-turvy over something, when something has happened to you, when when you're thrown off your horse and you can't stand, just try to quiet your mind and go into silent meditation. Just try it. It won't happen. Unless you really, really have a lot of attainment in your being and you can really pull it together. With Samadhi game, one of the very advantages of it is that you can say the mantras and feel the comfort of that rhythm, of that familiarity, of that foundation, and let that foundation hold you as you move forward through the trial of the tribulation. So if it's in a family, if you're having trouble within the family, if you're having trouble in your business or in your work, these are things that you'll sit down and admit. I find this constantly with myself. You sit down and you go, and I remember years ago when I was first starting meditation, I would sit down and immediately it would go to, am I going to be able to get my work done for the day? What do I have to do? When I was building houses in Montana years ago. And as soon as I'd sit down to meditate, I'd start thinking, well, I've got to get that jam in for the door today, and I've got to go to the hardware store and get those pieces of lumber. You start planning, and you start thinking, what am I going to cook for dinner tonight? And then the stomach roars and says, I'm hungry. Oh, I've got to go start eating. So there's that. You have to work all through that with silent meditation. But with Samadhi game, the matrix enfolds you. The matrix holds you. The hologram that we're developing of Samadhi game holds us in good stead through the day. And then as you move through the day with that calmness, that peace, you're living a meditation. You're living the tantra of that meditation, day, moment to moment, step to step. Let's do another. Let me take us to the mantras here. Let's do, we're doing the first section here today again, the affirmation and prayer of divine masculine presence and power as a foundation. Come on together. O sacred masculine essence of my eternal being, Holy One in my core, I am that I am. I am that divine masculinity within me now. I am the will of that kingly consciousness being done. I am the unchanging awareness of each moment, the natural spaciousness of each instant. On earth that I am, even as I am that in heaven. This sacred, tangible silence, death to my ego, source of my sustenance. This radiant gift of love, heart of my purpose, the Dharma, freely given to all. This shining void of stillness consumes every temptation of duality. This presence of Samadhi dispels all cross-currents of the human ego. I am transfiguration's total surrender, forgiveness, and reconciliation. I am resurrection's focus of wisdom and power. I am the absolute cooperation of the inevitable, ascension's expanding glory of eternal victory. All this freedom forevermore. I am. Om. Peace. Amen. I am. The absolute cooperation with the inevitable. It's inevitable that we're all going to ascend. It's inevitable that we're all going to find enlightenment, even if we never lifted a finger consciously to do it. We'd have to bump our knees and touch the fire, umpteen times before we got the message. But with Samadhi game, we're cutting through all of that bumping and burning. And we're getting to the point where we can actually move forward consciously with volition from a conscious self rather than having to learn it unconsciously. As you take command, as you say that we're doing this consciously, it becomes conscious and it accelerates the process. Don't be surprised if you start doing Samadhi game mantras and then you find yourself having to deal with an accelerated pace in your life. It happens. Because you're spinning the wheels. In Tibet, they spin the prayer wheels. We're spinning the prayer wheels, and what happens? It spins, it moves, accelerates around. The matrix of those prayers written on the wheel moves.
Quicker.
It comes quicker.
Comes sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
What do they say in the Bible? Time is shortened for the elect.
Yeah.
And that's what happens, And who are the elect? The elect are the ones that choose God. Mm-hmm. Consciously, out of volition, not the ones that sit around and just
wait for God to come to them.
Yeah, wait for God to come to them. This is choosing, word by word, moment by moment, choosing, again and again and again and again and again. I choose God. I choose love. I choose to embody love in every word, rather than just letting it read as all this freedom forevermore. I am. Period. No. All this freedom forevermore I am, and I infuse it with my love. Om, peace, amen, I am. It's a conscious declaration of the choice that we make. That conscious declaration has its power, makes us the elected ones, because we're electing it. We're electing our divinity rather than electing our dual human ego, which we'll get to in a day or two.
Kind of like you were saying last night about the vow.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that vow. These are all vows. Every single one of these are vows. I vow to accept myself as the divine being. I vow to accept myself as a god or a goddess. I stand as a god. It even straightens the spine up to do that, You can't sit slouched.
I'm God.
You got it.
Yeah. Everybody's asking me too many things.
Yeah, right. You've got to be the the goddess, the god, as you walk through your day, and then it becomes how do you share this light? You can't hold it under a bushel because you'll have more light in your being, and you'll be required to share it. Otherwise, it'll build up and then it'll explode out somehow. And so you have to figure out how to share it in a way that's gracious with other people, that doesn't cause trauma for them, and that can lift them graciously, into their higher self. So, some ideas. Each one of these mantras, each one of the words in the mantras is great food for thought, and that's why we can talk about them forever. Really, we could go back and take one word in it and say what it means and why it's situated as an adjective rather than a verb or something like that. Because it means something. It changes the meaning to change the words. That's what took me 10 years to write, because as I was writing it, I was going, no, that word has to be different. It has to be changed. It can't be and. It has to be of. It can't be like. It has to be as. I'm not standing like Gautama Buddha. I'm standing as the Buddha, as the Christos. So I was changing it so that we could assume these qualities, really easily from the wording. Let's look and see the next mantra in the first chapter, the Divine Identity, on page 22, if you're reading from your own books, is affirmation and prayer of Divine Feminine, the direct and connected fullness of beauty and forgiving grace. Come on. I am the Divine Feminine, the direct and connected fullness of beauty and forgiving grace. With me now in the intuition, dance, and relations of my heart, chalicing the hallowed vision, purpose, and paradigm of the golden age dawning. Blessed queens of Buddhic, angelic, and Christic realms, Kuan Yin, Green Tara, Holy Mary, O Pallas Athena, Parvati, Sarasvati, Lakshmi, whom I am. Hear our calls for compassion, wholeness, and the manifest oneness in the flesh. And here we can take a moment. Let's just do this silently. If you're in the internet and alone, you can do this aloud. It's better to say your intention aloud, to actually etch it into the atmosphere about you. But here, here we can just think our intention. It can be an abstract intention, or it can be really concrete, something that you really know what you want. Peacefully outpictured, gracefully given. See and feel as though this intention were already manifest. Act as though you were already there. Your holographic intention complete, manifested. And now from this position of it already being manifested, already seen as a vision, as a piece of art, press it into a golden coin, or paint it, if you're a painter, onto a canvas in brilliant colors. Let it shine. Shine as the gold, the soft gold, or shine brilliantly with the colors that you've painted it in. You can add accents to it. Sounds, smells, scents, sense of touch. You can feel it. You can reach. You can feel the texture of the paint on the canvas. You can feel the 3D if it's pressed into gold. It's real. It's tangible. You can put your finger on it. It's done. Now just let it all go. Toss this coin into the atmosphere about you, into eternity, into the pranas, the fire, the air, the water, the earth, and let it be. And let's sing it together now. Guide us, intensify our path, the direct and connected fullness of beauty and forgiving grace, the manifest experience of healing and truth, and the mastery, liberation, and triumph of enlightenment. I am the cradled babe of eternity, safe in the bosom of omnipresence. Let's say that again. I am the cradled babe of eternity, safe in the bosom of omnipresence. I am the cradled babe of eternity, safe in the bosom of omnipresence. And there we are. We're cradled. We've taken the masculine now and the feminine, and we've cradled ourselves within the matrix. Even the masculine and the feminine, when it's broken into the duality at its primal source, the Indians called it the Ida and the Pingala. It circles as this caduceus through the core, and where it meets is where the chakras come together, and it spins because they're going in opposite directions. That's the Tao. You've seen that Tao spinning. So that Tao is just a chakra spinning. So each place where this masculine and feminine comes together is a chakra. And so now let's take it and let's move it together. Nothing silence, sounding light. I am zero, the great yang, the vast silence, the undisturbed stillness, radiating in an antakarana of oneness, the sounding of love alone, the essence of life and light, strength, courage, beauty, and perfection. I am nothing silence, I am sounding light, I am whole and universe, luminous golden white. I am nothing silence, I am sounding light, I am whole and universe, luminous golden white. I am nothing silence, I am sounding light, I am whole and universe, luminous golden white. In the stillness within, existence I am bursts to an active, great yin radiance, spreading throughout the vastness. I am conscious silence, stalwart I command, stoic inspiration, I am God and man. I am conscious silence, stalwart I command, stoic inspiration, I am God and man. I am conscious silence, stalwart I command, stoic inspiration, I am God and man. Louder and louder the great mother I am, muses, inspires, hums, and sings songs of new life, a glad music of my heart. I am sacred rhythm, my keynote harmony, this melody is truth, the light held high and free. I am sacred rhythm, my keynote harmony, this melody is truth, the light held high and free. I am sacred rhythm, my keynote harmony, this melody is truth, the light held high and free. Born now anew, I receive and I accept this Christos, Krishna, Buddha, Allah, Pharaoh, Monarch, Divine Mother, Father, Son, Conscious, Neutral, Witness, Awareness. 7 ultra sacred, flaming paraclete, my forehead now emblazoned, I am crown complete. 7 ultra sacred, flaming paraclete, my forehead now emblazoned, I am crown complete. 7 ultra sacred, flaming paraclete, my forehead now emblazoned, I am crown complete. Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you so much for that. I just love saying these together. It has so much resonance. And when we say that, those middle mantras, and sing them with resonance, it gives a dimension to the mantra. It gives it sort of a texture like you would on a painting. And we can do that with all the mantras. We can find ways to create texture and painting with them. So let's see what else we have in this first section. We're almost running out of time, but let's keep going a little bit longer. The radiant circle of healing love and the art of life in liquid white light. And this particular mantra is one where we've ensconced ourselves in this love. We've determined that the love is going to be in our hearts. We've determined that it's there. What is it going to do? Is it going to just sit there? No, it has to radiate out. It has to beam itself all around us. And it can beam itself very specifically. And as we know more and more the neutral witness of who we are, we can actually choose how to beam it more specifically into the duality. But let's go ahead and give this mantra and see how we can state this as a mantra, how we can create a mandala out of the beaming of our chakras of love, how we can create this radiance about us more powerfully because we're putting our attention on it rather than just letting it happen somewhere off in the distance. Come on. O radiant circle of healing love and the art of life and liquid white light that I am. Encircle me now, encircle me now, encircle me now. I am this loving splendor encircling me now. I am this living prana chi encircling me now. I am this liquid crystal fire encircling me now. I am this samadhi encircling me now. As this active intelligence of powerful conscious volition that I am, I radiate, radiate, radiate. I govern this exhaustless energy and precipitate all things into form of those who come under the radiation of this, my radiant circle of healing love and the art of life in liquid white light, including, and here you can name the loved ones. We won't name them. We'll just think the loved ones that we're going to name, that we would name. But if you're out there on the internet, go ahead and name them aloud. Say the names of your loved ones that you'd like to include, given the healing of your own heart, the radiance of your being, the light and shine of your eye upon them. Visualize yourself seeing them and looking at them, glowing at them, proud of them, supporting them, upholding them. And we can also say this for the community. Let's go ahead and say this line here in italics. The Samadhi Game Community and Primera Agua Healing and Enlightenment at Sunny Mellow. And come on. I ignite and I expand the illuminating center within their bodies, emotions, and minds into that active, perfect, and eternal garment of enlightenment. O radiant circle of healing love and the art of life and liquid white light that I am, instantly bring healing to and make art of all dual human ego in my world, opening wide the door of my heart to the ineffable, divine, and present existence in expression and expansion. I am the wide open door of my heart, flooding forth the radiant circle of healing love and the art of life in liquid white light, the enchanting essence of my electronic body, and I am Samadhi. I balance, blaze, and dazzle the threefold activity of my heart's Samadhi. Ennobling love, wisdom, and power encircles me, now and forever bringing healing to and making art of every dual human ego activity, freeing me to leap into divine union with the source of these, the shining three. Let me just say, because sometimes people say, what is the shining three? Well, it's the love, wisdom, and power that we just mentioned. They shine. And this mantra is all about shining. It's all about shining out to the world. And you want to shine as love. You also want to shine as wisdom. You also want to shine as power. You can't be a doormat. You have to take dominion over the world where you are and say, this is how I'm going to live my life. This is what I choose. I'm going to choose this. And then gather people into the ever-expanding matrix, the ever-expanding hologram of the world that you create in love, wisdom, and power. Let's go on. I am the mighty, magic, electromagnetic circle of invincible liquid love, light, and life substance, instantly transmuting and harmonizing, healing and making art of every discordance or distraction which seeks to enter or intrude itself, masquerading as the I am me. I am the self-sustaining perfection of my world, enfolded in the radiant circle of healing love and the art of life and liquid white light. The Samadhi that I am, I remain. Vanish the veils of light and shade. I abide in the shining truth of divine law and the justice of eternity. I am the lake of kindness, free of disturbing conditions, inner and outer. And now we're going to give this Om on camera here. Let's rub the hands together, get them hot, and let's send this Om out to whoever's on the Samadhi Game broadcast, whoever has listened or will listen ever to this archive. I am commanding all therapies within this, the inner magic of my radiant circle of healing love, to be revealed with the art of life and liquid white light of Samadhi, the all-pervading, serene, and harmonizing bliss. Let's go ahead and just sit for a moment in bliss. I'm going to put us on camera. We'll just sit in silent meditation, feeling the waves of what we just established with this mandala of word. In silent meditation, we can always just come back to love. If you start to wander if you start to find your mind being engrossed in something that's like taking you away, just let it just feel yourself with love. Fill yourself with love. Feel yourself with love. Fill yourself with love. And let it speak. It's really great. Just want to see, how much we have. Samadhi's I am, memory, momentum. Let's go ahead and do it. I think we have time. Let's go ahead and do this last mantra for the Samadhi game. This is what we're establishing. We'll come back for a moment. We're establishing the foundation. This first chapter is all about the divine identity, holding it into ourselves. Day by day we establish it. Day by day we get stronger in it. And I mentioned earlier, as we say this, there will be sort of like a cleansing that takes place. There's a cleansing, an upwelling of the doing of an ego. It says, wait a second, hold on. That's not what I want. It comes out of your direction, so you have to be aware of that. You have to work because of suddenly and say, no, this isn't it's boring. I don't want to do this. I don't want to myself commit to a program. I don't want to bind myself in forget it, and just wake up, or of that nature. Just keep deepening your process. Keep deepening your practice. There's plenty of great teaching. There's so much great teaching. Jesus taught beautiful. Gautama taught beautiful things. Oftentimes we have very little practice, or fundamental practice.
That's the habit. Brushing teeth.
Yeah, it gets to be a habit. We don't want it to be fundamental. We want it to be new each day. So it's the practice that we want. We want this fundamental, this foundational practice to continue, and we want it to be like brushing the teeth.
Because when you brush your teeth, you know they're going to be white.
Yeah.
And when you do Samadhi, you know you're going to feel better.
Yeah, you do. Thanks. I agree. How do you feel when you do? Have you ever felt any changes?
Yeah, I just get a lot more energy.
A lot more energy when you do it. Good. Yeah, I do too. I get more energy. Clarity. I get stability. Actually, I think is the biggest thing for me. I don't know if you noticed it out there in the land of the internet, but when we first started this broadcast, I had a little bit too much chai to drink for breakfast, and I was like really like shaking with it. I was like trembling with the caffeine in my body, and just after a few mantras, I could feel my body begin to calm down, to stabilize, and Samadhi game does that for me. It stabilizes me against the sort of the ravages of life. Okay, let's go ahead and do this last mantra. I think this is the last one of the set. Samadhi's I am, memory and momentum, the golden river of sustained enlightenment and divine direction. Come on. From billowing clouds in the spotless sky of the tangible I am, Samadhi, that I am, comes now a downpour of the memory and momentum of the golden river of sustained enlightenment and divine direction, a drenching of mastery and dominion here and now, rivulets of wise thinking, lovely feeling, and powerful activity. Converging is the eternal sweep of the sacred Ganga. Let's just stop for a moment. These rivulets, what happened here? Cancel that. We just want to come back here. There. The rivulets, just little teeny drops every day. We're creating a rivulet of energy that's moving into the stream. And as we add more and more energy to it, it becomes this river, which we're going to get to in this call. So let's go ahead and call back again. Rivulets of wise thinking, lovely feeling, and powerful activity. Converging is the eternal sweep of the sacred Ganga, the memory and momentum of love, wisdom, and power, flooding forth like a million Niagara Falls, ceaselessly descending in, through, and around all my thoughts, feelings, and activities, including. And here you can just think of the matrix of the things that you're going to do today, all of the activities of what you have planned for today, and place it into a sort of a holographic image. See it as best you can, just like you would pray for something, like we did earlier. See it as though it's being done. All right, and then we continue on. We've placed that thought pattern into the matrix of Samadhi game. Continuing to harmonize and perfect them now, as Christos, as Krishna, as Buddha, as Allah, as Pharaoh, as monarch, as the Divine Mother Father, as the Sun conscious neutral witness awareness. I enter this golden river of sustained enlightenment and divine direction here and now, bathing in the streaming memory of memory and momentum of love, life, and light. I take command of all thoughts, feelings, and actions, but oh, the highlands of superconscious living and awareness. Lo, I am become the sea of mirth itself. O loving I am Samadhi that I am. And here we'll just say the names Ganesha and the great divine director. O Ganesha, O great divine director and the great karmic board, that I am. I invoke your memory and momentum of sustained enlightenment and divine direction. I am that guidance now. I am that courage and strength that acts. And in my attention to my women, you say, I'll say the other. Purpose, plan, focus, freedom, dharma, and death. I hold my scepter of dominion and power sustained.
From the
joyous I am Samadhi that I am. I descend in the whirlwind radiance of this Christos, Krishna, Buddha, Allah, Pharaoh, monarch, Divine Mother, Father, Sun conscious, neutral witness awareness. I envelop my four aura bodies with the unbroken thrill of that neutral witness and unique sexual essence, and I stand guard over my entire consciousness, being, and world 24/7. O eternal I am Samadhi, beyond all imagination of expectancy, I charge my physical, emotional, mental, and etheric bodies with that memory and momentum of full conscious realization, as I issue the following command to all the polarized human creation and ego etched in my pranas, chakras, and meridians, and those of the entire planetary body. Dissolve, consume, transmute, and reconcile by the violet light of Samadhi. Dissolve, consume, transmute, and reconcile by the violet light of Samadhi. Dissolve, consume, transmute, and reconcile by the violet light of Samadhi. I let the instantaneous release of the self-luminous, infinitely intelligent light substance issue forth without limit from the immortal Samadhi that I remember I am, and I charge these pranas, chakras, and meridians,
thoughts and feelings,
activities and environment with the victorious memory and momentum of the golden river of sustained enlightenment and divine direction, such that all polarized human creation and ego is instantly transmuted and transfigured into refined and perfected states of awareness, action, and physicality. Let's just do an Om. Om. Peace. Amen. I am. And let's go ahead and give this last sealing here. We'll start here. I am everywhere, here, now, and forever. I am here, everywhere, now and forever. In the fullness of cosmic joy, we accept this and miracles manifest here and now with unconditional love, wisdom, and power, anchored in the earth, air, fire, water, and akasha, and tangibly manifest in our lives, in the lives of all evolutions of light throughout cosmos. Let's just say it 2 more times. In the fullness of cosmic joy, we accept this and miracles manifest here and now with unconditional love, wisdom, and power, anchored in the earth, air, fire, water, and akasha, and tangibly manifest in our lives and the lives of all evolutions of light throughout cosmos. In the fullness of cosmic joy, we accept this and miracles manifest here and now, with unconditional love, wisdom, and power, anchored in the earth, air, fire, water, and akasha, and tangibly manifest in our lives and the lives of all evolutions of light throughout cosmos. So outstanding. It's really powerful, to have us sitting so close together, and feeling the energy moving.
And the tones.
And the resonances off the body. Can you feel that?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So if you're tuning into the Samadhi Game, we invite you to come here at some point. If you have the time and space in your life, fly here now. Come. Get here. There's a great place here in Cedar Crest. We can put you up.
Yep.
And just make time to be here every day this week, every morning. Sit with us here. Come together in this group and say these mantras with us together. And we'll change the world. We'll change each other's world. We'll change the patterns of our own thought because we're going to apply it consistently.
Yes.
Day in and day out.
Yes.
Day in and day out.
Yes.
Over and over, it's going to become real. So thank you for joining us. We're going to be here again Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday mornings, all the way through. And then Saturday night, we're going to have the dance-a-thon, the Samadhi Game meditation, and pot fortune dinner. And that pot fortune dinner is going to be awesome.
Yep.
It's going to start at 7:30.
With a Croatian special. What is it called again?
Blitva.
So we'll have blitva and a whole bunch of other great things. What are you going to bring?
Not sure yet. Some wine, some red wine.
Oh, good. We'll break that wine open and just really enjoy. So join us on those days. Look at the schedules online. Go to Samadhi Game Tribe if you haven't already done so. If you've just found us on Ustream, go to the tribe. Check it out. There's all sorts of stuff there. Mm-hmm. There's posts that we've made. Roll down through the page and see some of the things that we've posted there. Go to my page, Gregory Brinkley, and Facebook. A lot of what I post on Gregory Brinkley's site is about Samadhi Game as well, because it's my passion, and the two sites kind of work together. Go to Robbie's page. You can see she posts a lot about Samadhi Game and a lot about chemtrails and good foods to eat and beautiful pictures and paintings and you've lost some of your photos of all your paintings.
Horrible.
What happened?
Bad Facebook. They deleted 5 years of my stuff because I write about chemtrails and HARP. Gone.
You're kidding.
Took it away. Oh well.
Beautiful
it's okay.
paintings.
It's all.
And by
here.
the way, if let's see, how are we situated here? Can we see? Oh, Barbara, if you can just lean to your left, right behind you. Look behind, and then look. You have to lean far over and look behind you. Now keep leaning because I want to see the painting behind you on the piano. Come to the right here with Robbie. There, lean that way. See, there is a painting that Robbie brought from Croatia for us here.
How sweet of you.
Isn't that sweet? Isn't that nice?
That is lovely.
It's beautiful.
Planes, trains, and automobiles to get here.
That's a gorgeous painting.
And boats.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's
The
fantastic.
bees. The bees on
the
the
birds
top.
and the bees, the flowers and the trees.
Yeah, and some puffy, nice natural clouds.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. So, okay, so we're loving you. We're loving being here together. And I invite you to come as often as you can in the mornings, join these broadcasts as much as possible. And you too, Barbara, if there's any way that you can get away from work.
On the weekend.
On the weekend, come on Saturday and Sunday. And on Saturday we're going to have, after the broadcast, we're going to have a processing. Today, after the broadcast, and there's a schedule for every day after the broadcast. And when we leave here, it's not going to be broadcast. We're going to walk out and we're going to do saga, movement, and yoga on the grass.
I'm better today than yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
Well, maybe
The man not playing.
yeah, right. Yeah. Yesterday we did, before the meditation in the afternoon, we did some saga breathing and movement on the grass, and we took partners. Because at a certain point I wanted to have everyone pound on each other, and there was enough of us to have partners, and it was nice. It was really lovely. It was really lovely to have that happen. It sort of broke the energy open.
Yeah,
Didn't you think?
it was great. It was like instant meet and greet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, all right. So I'm going to play some music for us as we leave. This is foundational. This is foundational music. So let's continue on with the foundational music. Let me just find one piece here. Let's go to lovely Ave Maria.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice seeing you.